What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Where the Locals Skate. I'm your host once again, OG Skate Show. This is a podcast where we get to know local skaters on and off the board. And of course, here with me always, the Couch Boys.
What up? What up, guys?
David Prata and Victor Castillo. And now let's introduce our guest this week. We have Andres Alfonso back in the house for round two.
Dude, yeah, let's go.
Dude,
round
thank you for joining us today. I would say thank you for coming down, but we've already been skating this whole day.
Yep.
Good times.
Hey, I want to say something. I wasn't here for your episode the first time, but now I'm here. And it was cool, you know? It was cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool being here, and then, like, it's cool, like, being out in a skate session and, actually putting in work out there and getting things done. Now we're doing the interview. So it's kind of cool being, like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it makes sense. We gotta go skate first, and then we can do this. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little worried about it. I didn't want to come back all, limping and stuff like that too. But yeah, it was fun.
Well, I'm glad we got you to jump over the fence. That's the best part right there.
That was a sight to see right there.
Yeah, that was not fun. And and then we find out at the end of the skate session the gate was open. So yeah, that's got to be a good laugh.
Yeah.
So but just to remind everybody out there that you were episode 9, and that one was way back in January 26th.
Of 23, right?
23, correct. Yeah.
Damn, that's a while ago.
A whole year ago.
Yep. So if y'all want to go back and check that one out, I was still really new at trying to do this. So yeah, it was fun. It was a fun watch.
Yeah, I mean, I would say coming back, I don't know, it's been how many episodes in between? Probably like 60, 50?
Ooh, this will be episode 72, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, now the setup is completely different. You guys have definitely stepped it up. It looks way more professional, and it's crazy because, Hummus still looks like a homie podcast.
Right?
But you don't realize that, like, you guys proper camera, proper lighting, the soundboard and all that shit.
Well, we try over here,
Hell yeah.
So, and just remind everybody what city you're repping.
So I guess I'll rep Mid-City LA.
Okay.
So, like, my local would be, like, Jkwon.
Right.
That's kind of, like, the closest spot that I have to me.
Okay. Jkwon, huh?
Yeah, that's the Sunday spot. Go there every Sunday.
Jkwon, for people that don't know what Jkwon, what is the Jkwon?
So, Radio Korea, Jkwon Orthodontics, I think it's what it was called. That's why they have that name. 3700. It's got a lot of different names, but I just found out the other day.
Church as well, right?
Yeah, church.
Sundays.
I just found out the other day because to my knowledge, the first time I ever saw a video about Jkwon was like blind video days. So it was Guy Mariano, he was doing a trick there. Mm-hmm. They started filming that video like 89, came out 90. So like I was thinking that's probably like the first footage that we see of anybody skating there.
Wow.
But this dude, Ted Barrow, the one from Trasher, who does like all the he does like history on spots. Mm-hmm. Found like some photos of some dudes skating the ledge from 87, 88.
Oh wow.
So it's just like crazy to me to think that there's like a spot that like I don't know, almost 40 years later, people are still skating it. Right. And it's gone like, ups and downs. There's a moment where you couldn't skate at all. Mm-hmm. But now it's been figured out. You go there on Sundays. It's the only day you can go skate.
Right.
And, you gotta have your etiquette over there. You gotta take care of the spot. Try to smoke out, a little further away from the door. No need to interact with the security guards or anything like that.
Are there still security around on Sunday?
Yeah, but they just don't come out. Again, it's been figured out.
Right.
I don't know how it happened or when it happened.
They started coexisting.
Yeah, and I want to say a lot of it had to do with DGK. They're kind of like they're the crew that kind of owns the spot. Mm-hmm. So I've seen Cooley. He literally has given boards to the security guards and stuff like that for their kids.
That's rad.
So he actively is trying to make sure that like, hey, is it okay? Can we figure this out and stuff like that. I've also seen it, but where like cops would come and then they just talk to him and he's like, hey, everybody, we gotta go. Mm-hmm. And we all know, all right, dude, we just gotta go. And then, come back a few hours later and you're all good.
Okay.
But I would say Jkwon Radio Korea, 3700 Church Sunday.
Dope.
That's my local.
I feel like Jkwon's like the modern day Love Park, but for LA.
Yeah, I mean, LA architecture, it's really random to have a spot like Jkwon, right?
Yeah.
That's like a plaza. It's very like East Coast like Love Park, like you mentioned. But it's so dope because it's like it's a meetup spot too.
Right.
You know, like I go there and skate, warm up, and then I'll meet up with some homies. We go to another spot nearby, or like we drive somewhere. You know.
Yeah.
But it's cool to have a spot like that.
Oh yeah,
dude. Back to Cooley giving back. Dude, that dude's always giving back, man. Shout out to Cooley, DGK, and then Radio Korea, bro. Like I've been there a couple times, and dude, there's a little bit of everything to skate there: ledges, mani pad, drops, stairs, handrails. You know, what would be your favorite obstacle there?
Oof, I don't know. I mean, I go all over. I go on the ledges a lot, do the same 4 tricks that I know how to do.
Which we always have to do. We gotta keep them. Block.
I like the blocks. The square blocks are pretty dope to skate. Like if you want to do manis or if you want to jump over them. And then the bottom sides, like the long ledges, those are pretty dope too.
The ones that come out to like the street.
Yeah. And then both sides. So you got the one on this side. It's a little bit like taller with the drop, and then this one on this side is a little bit shorter to drop. But they're both really like cool and good.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's like a lot of options too. Like if you skate, you can skate the stairs too. But like if you skate the bottom of the stairs, you can do like slappies in there. You have a little curve, and you can do manis as well.
That's
so
cool.
it's like
I've never been there.
Yeah, I think what I like the most is probably the floor. Like it has a good pop. Because what I like to skate the most is just like flat ground tricks. That's what I like to do the most. So I can think of probably I've done my best backside flip. I did it at Jkwon, and they're just kind of relearning that trick. But it has like a good pop, like the marble. It just hits. Like you just hear the sound, you're like, hell yeah.
It's like that satisfied feeling, right?
Yeah.
Dude, there's I think the gnarly one is the gap to ledge, how they slide all the way, dude. Jacobo, or I forgot who it was from the Death Switch, the blunt kickflip.
Yep.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, that spot's been skating since forever. Like back in the early 90s, like Guy Mariano did like front T.
Yep.
So it's really crazy, like to think of a spot that's just been going on for so long.
Right.
And it just doesn't go away. You know what I mean? Like people are still going there.
That's so bad.
And then for me, because again, I live nearby, so for me it's convenient to go there on a Sunday. It's like a meetup spot for like the entire skate world in LA, right? So one of the cool things about living in LA is that you run into like pros and amateurs and all the famous skaters and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, 2-3 weeks ago, I was skating there and we see like Andrew Reynolds, Eric Ellington, he's there with Jim Greco, and they're all filming something with Beagle. And then you see like, Antoine Dixon shows up, and then you see like TJ Rogers, and then you'll see like,
wow,
I don't know, the whole DGK crew is there. So it's like, I don't know, it's like a treat, you know what I mean?
Hell
because
yeah.
like, at least for me, I'm still like a kid skater in that sense. Like I'm still.
You already mentioned like I could take a couple of boards already over there and have them signed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm still like a kid in that sense. Like I get excited to see like a famous skater.
Right.
Like to be honest, like people ask me because obviously I live in LA, so people ask me, it's like, oh, what's the most famous person you've ever met? And I'm like, I don't really think about that, but like I'll tell you what's the most famous skater I've ever met.
Right.
And I've had good interactions with some funny with skaters, just like going around either at a spot or at a skate park.
True.
So that's a cool part.
Yeah, because a lot of times people think you live in LA, you're gonna bump into a bunch of celebrities or something like that.
Yeah, and then to be honest, if I was into that stuff, maybe I would see them more, because you're paying more attention.
Right.
What's also cool about right there, that spot Radio Korea, it's off Wilshire, and then off Wilshire is a lot of spots like the Wilshire 10, Wilshire 15. You can't skate it no more, but you could go just check it out for like skateboarding history. There's another spot like the church across the street, very famous spots. And good spots too if you want to throw down,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you mentioned, the street, the church across the street, that one's been in a lot of videos recently. They have like the stairs and they have the rail.
Yeah, even that ledge that you were saying that goes out to the street, that really long one. I've been seeing that a lot lately. Yeah. I've just seen Brooks do something on it too.
And then there's the other side of it, the famous side of it, where back in the day, Chris Cole does a tray flip to no slide on that, and then countless other pros just annihilate that ledge.
It's a cool spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool spot. I gotta go check it out one day.
There's also the secret ledge in the back that that I've only seen Jamie Taccone skate.
Yeah, he did Crooked.
I think crooked or no slide. I'm not too positive.
No. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because it's really long. You gotta wax it a lot.
Yeah.
And then you gotta put like a board on the landing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, just because like it's kind of like where the cracks meet, so it's kind of like right next to like a tree.
Okay.
So it's all like
all warped.
I see what you're saying. Like
so yeah, but no, he did that. That thing is crazy.
I think he's the only one I've seen touch it.
Yeah. It's funny when I first started skating there. I would skate that back part because there's like a 3-stair there.
Okay.
So I would go there and just kind of warm up. I didn't really know that many people, so it was kind of like a little intimidating going to Jkwon and you got to like step up and stuff. Oh. So I would go there and just like warm up, and then once I was warming up, I would go to the other side.
Yeah. You're ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just sit around and watch if I start seeing a bunch of pros. I'll be like, all right.
Yeah.
I got to get there early before everybody else does.
Yeah.
When you first started going there, I mean, every skater has it in them. Did you kind of like fanboy out when you saw one of your favorite pros, and you like inside you're like, all right, don't look dumb or don't act weird?
Yeah, I normally try not to. I'm not a interact type person. Like I know you interact with right away.
I'll go say hello.
I'm more of like, we're just vibing next to each other. If they talk to me, I'm cool,
Yeah.
But normally I just kind of like let them be. I'm just like enjoying the fact that I'm in a session with them.
I'll fill out the vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna go. They're middle of a trick. I'm not saying what's up, but
no, I feel like you do a good job at like approaching them too. Like I feel like they welcome you as well.
Well, I learned from Jeff Rowley.
Yeah.
Because Jeff Rowley, excuse me. Yeah, because one time I just kind of went in there. Hey, what's up, dude? Like da da da. And he's like, the proper way to is introduce yourself first, and then say hello. I'm like, oh man. All right, and then now ever since I just introduce myself and then I say hello, like.
It's just kind of like being a human too. Introducing yourself, you know. I used to be that kid, bro. Where like I'll fan out, dude. One time at Blinkfest, active 2008, had Blinkfest and Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah.
Stefan Janowski, bro. I seen him and like I jumped on him, bro. Like I came back and I was like, what the fuck, tripping out, bro, and then. I was just like, oh, maybe it wasn't a good idea to do that because he started kind of acting weird, I was like, hey, like, sign this, sign that, and he was just kind of like acting weird. So after that, I learned, like, introduce myself, and, after that, approach them at the right time, because if they're working on something filming, just let them do their thing. After they're done, you see them not busy, you could approach them and, hey, let me take a picture. Because I'm one of those dudes, bro. Like, I'm a fanboy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I just keep it to myself, you know what I mean? Like I just have the memory, let's say.
Yeah.
And somehow or some way I just get to talk to some of them. They just feel like okay. Like I've had, like for example, I was skating in downtown. I like to skate the courthouse in downtown as well, and I ran into PJ Ladd there, and then he just started asking me all these questions, like personal questions, and I'm just like, dude, what the hell? But it was just fun, Like these people are just like you mentioned, they're just all humans too.
Yeah.
And they get excited about the things they're seeing and they're doing too. Like, so I've seen a lot of people skate. So I get lucky again. You kind of vibe out on the fact that you live in LA. Mm-hmm. It is a paradise, and a lot of people are trying to come here. So you kind of like, because you're here, you kind of just put it aside or like don't appreciate it as much, right?
Sometimes some people can. Yeah, but. Man, how rad is that, dude? Like almost every weekend, you never know who's gonna show up. As long as you're there, you'll see somebody, I'm sure.
Yep.
Dude, I feel like us LA skaters or California skaters, we take the spots for granted and we take LA for granted. And you see other skaters from different countries coming and like they have a dream, they have goals, and that's why they're like have that fire in them. And us, we feel like we have this like. Yeah. For forever, but
I mean, you guys are from the area, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been in LA. It's gonna be 10 years now. Mm-hmm. So like I had a dream to come to LA since I was like probably 14, 15. Like when I seen the videos, I'd be like, damn, I want to live in LA one day. Like this is a dream. So I see what you're saying for sure. Because I do that sometimes too. I kind of take it for granted, and then I'll have somebody visit or like meet somebody new, and they bring in that excitement, right? Because for them, it's completely new, whereas you're just kind of used to it. So it kind of reminds you of like, yeah, this is the spot, right? This is the spot to be.
And they don't complain about the ground. They don't complain about the ledge because, a lot of times, maybe their terrain was a little rougher, and they and they got away with it, and then they come here and we're over here like, can somebody bondo this, or and then they're like, just killing it.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah, like, I love that, dude, because they come here with the heart and the attention to like, I'm gonna murder these spots, and especially if they're only here for a little bit, what if
they try to put the mark.
Yeah, they gotta take advantage of it.
Yep.
Yeah, you were mentioning something about we're all at LP, right? Skating with the Colombians.
The Colombian Olympic team.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
Jkwon, Juan Carlos.
Yeah. So I think I met you guys that night. I don't remember though specifically, but I met up with them. It was the Colombian Olympic team at that moment. So this was probably like, what, 2-3 years ago, I want to say?
I think I recorded a clip of you that night. Backside kickflip.
Was it that day?
I think so.
I don't remember if it was that
Unless
day.
we've been there twice together.
Yeah, we went a few times at least.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember we did a few sessions.
Okay.
But yeah, so now the team is completely different because obviously kind of like everywhere, they go through qualifiers and stuff.
Yeah.
So they start switching some of the players, but obviously Danka is still pretty much it because he's currently like the Colombian pro that's kind of representing, kind of putting Colombia on the map, to be honest, because like he's just killing it all over. Yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
Dude, I seen him at LP Park, like you mentioned 3 years ago, like a little bit after COVID, and dude, he was just killing it. He was there by himself, and I was talking to him, and he was speaking Spanish, and he said he was training for the Olympics, and he was part of the Colombian team.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, that's badass,
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, coming from Colombia, seeing how much, skateboarding has progress over there is pretty insane. Like, I want to say the last 10 years, it has progress probably like more than the last 30 or 40.
Are they accepting of it over there too?
Yeah, it's just that like it's a money thing, and it's kind of like here, like if you think about it, here there's like pro skaters that like have to work day jobs,
Right.
Here in the States where it's supposed to be like
right,
everybody has the money and all the companies are like got all the funding.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that in countries like Colombia or like like way less resources.
right.
So like the skaters there, they have to like struggle even way harder. But yeah, I feel like it's just it's been a collection of things. Like skating has been big there since probably like the early 90s. And then little by little, there's kind of like an industry created around it. So there's like a whole bunch of skate shops. Now there's a whole bunch of skate brands that are Colombian. So like they sell their own shoes, their own boards, their own wheels, their own clothes.
That's better.
And because of the
getting a board
Olympics
out here would be expensive.
Yeah, and because of the Olympics, there's a lot of funding for like skate parks. So like when I grew up skating, I think all I remember was just like a mini ramp that was like in the city, and that was pretty much it.
Okay.
So everything was just like street spots.
Was it like a cement or was it?
It was a cement. It's a cement mini ramp that it was so mellow that it's probably the reason why I don't know any transition and thought I could. It's so mellow that it's easy for you to like learn tricks. But then when you actually go to like a regular mini ramp, you're like, no, this is not it.
Like this one.
Yeah, but nowadays, literally like around my neighborhood, there's like at least 5 parks. And like in the city, there's at least 20 parks. So like that helps. That helps because it gives a space for people to skate.
Right.
And also the Olympics, it just helps with the
Exception.
I would say yes, and the outside view of it, right?
Right.
Because the older people are always thought of like skateboarders as like, oh, they're just like deadbeats, I don't know, stoners, drinking, whatever.
Same over there, same as here, right?
Yeah, same. So now because it's an Olympic sport, it's like, oh damn, there's this prestige to it. There's like this acceptance and this thing of like, oh, it can be a clean thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which obviously for the nitty gritty skater, that doesn't change anything. But at least for the acceptance and the money and the resources,
and then especially if you got your people, in the Olympics, of course you're gonna root for them.
So then there you go. You got to build a space for it. So in that sense, it has helped like a lot, and I have seen that in Colombia. From outside, obviously, because I'm not there, but from outside I see it, and I talk to my friends, and then we can see like, oh damn, now we have like 5 or 6 kids that we all paying attention to because they could be the next, the next Colombian skater.
That's cool.
And I think I mentioned this, off camera. I was mentioning that I met a lot of Colombian kids here, because they come here and then you kind of just get to skate with them and stuff like that. And it's crazy because like in the last 5 years, they have become kind of like some of my favorite skateboarders. And I'm like rooting for them because like I get to have a personal relationship with them too.
Right. Yeah.
And then I see them, getting better and better and better. And they're traveling. They're going to like other parts of the world. They're going, for Olympic purposes or for like just, they figure it out how to get there for like a month. And then they go back and they bring in all that, that energy and all that excitement,
Yes.
So they're like progressing that like way faster than my generation, I would say.
Yeah, especially
just because they get to travel.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. You get to see different parts of the world, and then they get to witness how different people skate, and then it kind of, like it just opens your eyes. Like, maybe this guy skates a little rugged, and they're like, wow, I like that what he does there. I'm gonna put some sort of that in my skating.
Yep.
It's just you can just take things from everywhere.
For sure.
Hey, so I got a question. Being a Colombian skater and you're sponsored by like a shop or something out there, would you have to would they help you out, get a visa, come out here, or you have to work on that yourself?
No, it's pretty hard. If you're part of the Olympic, they help you out because you can come to the States for training purposes. But if you're just like a small brand, it's really hard just because, again, it takes a lot of money. And also, like, the problem with skaters is that obviously you need to get a visa to come here, right? And skaters, if they're like in between 20 and 25, it's like really hard to get a visa because there's nothing holding you back. So people are going to think that you want to stay, right? Which is not the case for all of them, Not all of them want to come and stay. Some of them just want to come and, skate and then go back.
Right.
Just explore.
Yeah. So I've had some homies that they've told me of like, yeah, when I turned 23, it just became way harder for me to get a visa because like I'm not in school, I don't have like a full-time job, I'm trying to do skating full-time, So it becomes harder. I would say there's got to be like a handful that maybe they do help out, but it's just not enough money to be like supporting there. I don't know how much the skaters get paid over there. I know just a handful that do, and they get something like, I don't know, like if you got $500 here, let's say. And that gives them enough to like at least skate and just live, and they just kind of hustle around to make it work with whatever money they have. So, but the Olympic ones, they do get some support from the country or from whatever. Like over there, we don't have states, but we have departments. It's the same thing. Right. So instead of states, departments. And over there, the departments, they also have like a budget and money to support some of these athletes. So I had a friend, he came like actually probably 6 months ago, and he got to stay for like 2 months, and he is part of the park of the park team. And in Colombia, the parks, there's only one that's like big and comparable, but like there's nothing as big as like, let's say the Venice park or the Venice, the pool right there, or like the Vans park. That one is pretty big. So they help him out to come here and skate for 2-3 months and just train,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out to that.
Dude, they must be super hype, right? Like just coming out here and then like, it's like me trying to go to Barcelona, and trying to check it out. Of course, I'll be hyped,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's badass.
Yeah, no, man. For sure. I mean, when I got to go to Barcelona, I was so excited. I was like a little kid. But yeah, I went recently, like a year ago, with my wife. We did like a little Euro trip. But I did get to skate for like a full day in Barcelona, and it was just like a dream. Like, damn, I have to come back. Yeah,
that's cool.
What parts of Barcelona did you hit up?
So I met up with a homie that lives there. So we met up in Macba, and then we just kind of like skated around. He took me to like 3 or 4 spots. I don't remember really. Other than Macba, that was like the only famous one. But I got to go when I was like in college, so like back in 2005 or 6.
Okay.
And I stayed a week in Barcelona, but then I stayed like 3 or 4 months in Spain in general, mainly in Madrid.
Okay.
And skating over there, I mean, life over there is just completely different than American life. They live and then they work, whereas here in the States it's like you work.
Yeah.
And then you leave.
Right.
But over there, they're just like, they have a better balance of like work life.
Wow.
But yeah, Barcelona, I got to skate like all the famous spots. But it's crazy because like, even going from one spot to the next, you see like 3 other new ones.
Right.
Or like every other week, there's a new spot. Just the architecture is just like it gives,
Wow.
It's suited for it,
That's so
and then
cool.
you get people from like all over the world. So it's like it's a city that like it's really international,
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got to go that week, I met some British people and I hung out with them for like 3 days, and I was kind of like their tour guide because I was the only one that spoke Spanish.
Oh. Okay.
But in Barcelona, I would say they speak more English than they do Spanish over there, just because people are from all over.
Yeah, touristy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, you got like a lot of Germans, Dutch people, French, like all over. It's just from all over. And then obviously you got a whole bunch of like Latinos there, of course.
Yeah.
Trying to kill it.
Trying to kill it. That's dope, man. Shout out to that, dude. And you didn't bump into none of them pickpocketers?
No, not this time.
Not this
we
time.
got lucky. No, I had no trouble whatsoever.
That's good.
Yeah, it was super chill. Like I said, I skated all day with one homie.
Yeah, you had a homie.
And
there.
then he took me to all the spots. And then he also like recommended 2 spots to go out for dinner and stuff like that too.
See, that's how you do it right there.
Yeah.
You have somebody that actually lives in the city that knows the spots
And that's a Colombian kid that I met here. He came here, stayed for like 6 months, and then he went back, and then now he's in Barcelona, and then I think he's been there for like a couple of years now.
Dude, shout out to skateboarding.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I think about it as as a grown adult, it's hard to make friends in general. Right?
Yeah.
You make friends when you're like young because you're in school or you're like at work or something.
Right.
But like with skating, it's so easy to make friends with skating, right? Because I feel like once you see a skateboarder, like you already know each other without knowing each other at all.
Right.
And I feel like the reason you feel so comfortable is because you know that person had to go through all of the same things you had to go through.
Right.
All of the same bullshit.
Yep.
To learn how to do an ollie or do a kickflip.
Yep, the pain.
So like you already when you meet the skater, like you're already at a level of like understanding where you're just like, dude, I understand you. You know what I mean? Like you're just like me.
I can relate to that because on last weekend we went to film at the Fullerton Underground.
Yeah.
And we met this dude, and we just started conversating like nothing. He was like, "Man, it's hard to warm up. I feel all stiff and everything."
Yeah.
Come to find out later at the end of the day, he's a pro skater, and we didn't even look at him like that. We were just here having fun, skating the mani pad, having a good time. We're like, cool, dude. We met this cool dude, and he's a pro skater. Sammy
Montalvo.
Yeah,
From Globe. Yeah.
Yeah, I know him.
That's it.
Alien Workshop.
Yeah,
He's a cool dude.
We were just sitting there filming, me and him, and then just started chit chatting about how cold it is, how hard it is to warm up.
Yeah.
And it's cool how with any skater, no matter where you go in the world, it's gonna spark conversation. Even if you don't speak the same language, you're just gonna communicate somehow.
Yeah. And again, I feel like it's because of that understanding that you have, right?
Yeah.
So like this person, it's kind of like if somebody spoke you spoke a different language, right?
Yeah.
And then how do you relate to somebody who speaks the same language? Well, it's literally kind of the same thing, right? Like once you meet a skateboarder, like you already know, like you guys are talking about the same thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. Like I think I've met most of my really good friends I've met through skating, and I have like the ones that I started with, and I think there's still like 3 or 4 that they still skate. We still hit up each other up. I was like, hey, what was the last time you skated? What's the last trick you got? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I would say like I just probably have like one friend from like 2nd grade still.
Yeah.
We still know each other, but like, and the rest were like, my friend Robert, we knew each other from school, but it's mostly because he started skating, and then he got me skating.
Yeah.
And so we've been friends because of skating still, So, man, dude, and then everybody else, like like I told you earlier, how I met these guys at BP Skate Park. So, man, dude, and then like I attached myself to these guys. I was like, these guys are rad, man. I'm gonna hang out with these dudes. Killing it out here. And then they're always trying to get out and film clips, and that to me was always what I wanted to do when I was younger, which we did, but it wasn't to this level because we didn't have the technology back then like we do now.
Yeah.
So
I feel like now it's way easier just because we all have professional equipment on our phone, on our computer, on our pocket.
Right, that too. Yeah, once I got the GoPro too and I started learning how to do that, that was fun. So I was just like, all right, like let me start trying a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then he started getting hurt again, and then injuries again, and then then you got to take time off again. You're like, man, what happened? I was on a good run. So yeah, skateboarding.
I was gonna say I had a question. So back in Colombia when you were growing up, like the resource, you know how you're talking about resources to like film videos. Was it there, or was it like, oh, we know that one guy who has a camera, and everyone kind of just gravitated towards that guy?
Yeah, I think it was more like that. Like I had a camera that I had bought at a pawn shop actually here.
Yeah.
In the States. And then I took back, but it was just like, it was never like something that we ever thought about, you know? And it was always like really awkward too.
Yeah.
So like you would do the trick 3 times in a row, and then as soon as you pull out the camera, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, because you're just not used to it. So I don't think we ever had that vision. You see, I feel like with skating, the people that do something with skating, at least in a professional level or amateur level, they have a purpose, right? They have a goal, they have a dream, and they kind of like have this vision.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was skating, I felt like it was so far, like it was just like such a crazy dream that I never thought about it like, oh, this is what I'm going to do to be sponsored.
You probably didn't even think you were going to be skating next to all those pros.
No, ever. Never.
Right.
And I never thought I learned, like, I also realized, like, later on that I kind of, like, limit myself with some of the things that I did. Because I always thought, like, oh, only a pro can do certain tricks, right? So, like, why even try?
Right.
And then later, when I got older, I started just trying the tricks and realizing, like, oh, I can do this one. Or, like, this one I can't do it at all, you know?
Right.
But you start learning those things, and then you start, like, figuring out. But, like, yeah, back then, I don't really have that vision, you know? Yeah, we filmed some stuff here and there, and I still have some clips with some of my friends. But we just skate, you know? Yeah. We would just go to the spots. We had night sessions. We had, you know, once my parents lent me the car so we can drive to spots,
Ooh.
I would take, like, you know, 5 people in the car and then somebody in the trunk as well.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Dangerous.
Yeah.
We don't.
And then we would just go skate everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
But I never had a homie that was like super into filming.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's another thing that was missing.
Okay.
True. Yeah. Everybody wanted to skate.
Yeah,
nobody
that's the thing.
Yeah. Nobody
so
wanted to hold the
for
camera.
example, I had to film a lot because it was kind of like my camera.
Yeah.
And I would like show people, but then I also wanted to skate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd just be like, you know, a balance on that. But I did have like, we did launch a video that I finally got to edit with some clips of us from like, you know, 25 years ago.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I'm working on a second one that all I'm missing is just like doing credits and adding some music. Took me, you know, 25 years to edit, but that one is just like a little bit older. So like I have the first one of us like kids, and then us a little bit older, like we're trying, you know, harder tricks and stuff like that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. But again, we never had that vision, you know?
Right.
So whenever actually I went back probably like 2 years ago, I was in Colombia and I got to film my friends. And we were all talking about how like awkward it is, you know, for us because we never grew up with it, you know?
Yeah.
Like kids nowadays, they grew up with a phone on their face all the time.
Right.
So they're not fazed by seeing a camera or like a phone or nothing, right?
And you know, a lot of times, I just want to say this, a lot of times I was just going to skate because I wanted to get out of the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just wanted to be out of the house. I'm like, dude, like that we didn't have phone cameras, none of that. And then, you know, maybe a beeper. I can't remember when I got a beeper. But yeah, that was back in the day. And we just wanted to be out there in the streets, just, you know, learning,
and I got
as much
lucky.
as we could.
Yeah, I got lucky because, like, again, I grew up in Bogota, which is the capital.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I remember we would go literally just up one street and then down the other. And in that, we would hit, like, 10 spots going up and another 10 going down.
That's cool.
We had like a lot of spots, and it's something that we were just lucky, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we didn't have maybe like dedicated skate parks and stuff like that, or like, you know, things, but like street spots everywhere,
right?
Like everywhere.
Was there a meetup spot in Bogota like that, like how Jkwon was, or?
For me, no, just because I kind of live a little north of the city, so it's a pretty big city. Mm. I would say the meetup spot is probably like somewhere in downtown. Like nowadays there's like more meetup spots.
Yeah.
But when I skated, no, like, you know, I would meet up just in the backyard with my friends, you know, like we meet up in the park.
Okay.
And then we start warming up there. And then, like I told you, we would go up this one main avenue all the way up, hit up like a whole bunch of spots, and then come back down the other, do the same. And then every now and then we will do trips like, oh, we're going to go to this one spot and then just try to go to that side of the city and skate.
Right.
You were mentioning earlier Esteban Sibas, shout out. You said he had like a website that was kind of like Thrasher in Colombia? Or?
Yeah. Sebas. So Sebas, he it's funny because he has his last name is Gonzalez as well. Mm-hmm. And there's another Sebas Gonzalez. And they both have a brand together, so which is hilarious.
That's funny.
But so they have a skate website. It's called Vive Skateboarding, and it was kind of like like Trasher in Colombia.
Beavis, like
Vive.
Vive. Okay.
Yeah, like live.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of like the main website at that moment. It was pretty important. Let's say like 10 years ago.
Is that what you guys will go into and like always check it out, or you had your other little?
Yeah, that was kind of like the place where if you wanted to see like any updates, any new videos of Colombian industry and stuff like that, that's where you would go see it. But over there again, like I mentioned, I want to say like street skating probably became like a hit like in the 90s. Like I remember when the first skate shop opened, it was kind of like in this one northern part of the city, and then it was kind of like little by little. It was kind of like growing little by little. And then we had some certain brands that would go there and certain brands that wouldn't. So like I remember there was a huge boom of Circa. Remember the shoes?
Yeah, oh yeah.
In Colombia, Circa shoes were like Nikes nowadays.
Okay.
Like everybody had a Circa shoe.
Okay.
Because they were like really cool designs. It was Thomas, Muska, all the famous pros. And they actually went like a few times to do demos there. So like there's actually this clip of Tony Tabe in the Element video that he does. I think it's an ollie flip or a kick flip over this rail, and it's like the first time we ever saw a Colombian spot in a video. We're like, oh my god,
the hype was real right there.
But then again, that brand hit like hard there, and my guess is just that probably like a skate shop was able to get a license through, with them or something, and then that's how it just like kind of blew up. But it was kind of like it's a sweet spot, you know what I mean? Like I really started skating probably like 99. Like that's when I really started skating. I had a skateboard probably like in like 96, 97 is when I first got a skateboard. Mm-hmm. But I would not ride the skateboard. I would just use it, I would just ride on it. And then I would not try anything. So
like you were saying, like the first shop opened later down, right? Like
the first shop I wanna say opened like probably like mid 90s.
Okay.
I wanna say is when the first shop opened.
So I was gonna say, were you guys like shopping for like boards that were coming from the Americas, or you guys were still like you said they were picking Colombian companies were picking up out there?
So now at that moment there was no Colombian brands. Uh-huh. Like there was no Colombian boards. So everything was outsourced or it came from somewhere.
Wow.
I skated some paddle boards that were like mini logo paddle board, just mini logo, all wooden. Yeah. Because those are like way cheaper for some reason. And they were pretty good boards over there too. That's but for me, well, my first board that I ever got is a Brazilian board. And I got it through my brother. I have like two older brothers. One of them skated. He's the one that kind of passed it out on me. He gave me the curse, let's say. Mm-hmm. And I remember, like, at that moment I used to rollerblade. So I was in Brazil. I was visiting my brothers. They were living there. Still, one of them lives there. The other one lives in Colombia. And we went to this mall, which is called Galeria do Rock, which is just think about like 5 floors full of skate shops, music shops, tattoo shops, and like Hot Topic type stores.
Right.
I'd say. But it was all like full. And we would go there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy a board, so I can set up a board, and then we'll go to the park. You can go in your rollerblades. I'll go on my skateboard." I'm like, "All right, cool." So we're in the shops, and he's like asking me for my approval, I guess, or like
what do you think of this?
What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Not knowing I was setting up my own board.
That's cool.
Because at that moment he set up his own board, right? And then he gave it to me at the airport, like 2 months later after I left. That's when he gave it to me, and I was like, "Oh, like I have a skateboard now." And then it was like in '99, I saw some people in the neighborhood skating, some friends, And I was like, I got a board. I'm ready for this now.
Yeah.
So then I just, met up with them, and that's how I started. That's how we started skating.
Yeah.
And then over there, so we would use a lot of, there was this sports shop that sold boards. They sold the Apollo Mini logo. And then the skate shops, they had all different types of boards, but we only got certain kind. You don't get all the brands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to skate a lot of those boards and stuff like that.
I bet you, and then back then, I wasn't like too choosy about my size. Like I didn't know, like maybe, wheelbase and all that stuff, and how high the nail. I would know sometimes, like, hey, this one, I can't do certain tricks, but I didn't really put it together back then. Like, oh, maybe it's because the wheelbase is different. I never did that.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, maybe the graphic is cool in this one, or oh, let's just go get a Madrid blank. And they always have good like Everslicks. We used to call them Everslicks because they had like a
coating or something.
Yeah, they had like the coating on the bottom or something. Like
yeah.
I can't remember what it was. Fiberglass.
Oh, I see.
Like a fiberglass bottom or something. They were pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, same. I don't think I ever knew anything about sizes until like way older.
And then being like, we couldn't be picky back then.
Yeah.
But nowadays, oh man, I gotta have that 825 twin paddle.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that I guess when you first started out, nothing really matters. All you really need is a board.
Yeah.
So I was skating a board with no tail at one time. Like I was still getting it off the ground.
Yeah, you could do like mismatching trucks, or like your trucks are like way bigger or like way smaller than your board,
or you're riding the square board, but you don't care because you still get a kickflip on it.
Yeah.
Or what about like mix matching, like your kingpin, and like because the kingpin broke or something, and then so you had to try to figure something out. Like I would take like a kingpin from like a plastic skateboard, and that thing wouldn't last. Like, oh man, that was crazy.
That's crazy. That's something that I used to break like a lot when I was younger, but I don't remember.
They got better now. I think they got better nowadays.
Well, I do ride like my trucks like way looser now. I remember I used to like tighten the hell out of my trucks, and it was like super like stiff. Like that thing would just go in a straight line.
I had that.
And then I just started losing them, little by little. I kind of just leave them how
when
they
you
come.
buy them. Yeah, the same thing too.
That's how I leave them.
Usually, as long as but there have been one time where I did that and they were like way too low. I was like, I gotta give it a couple of turns.
Yeah, no, I like loose trucks. I feel like it helps with certain tricks and stuff. It gives you a little bit more. It's a little bit more forgiving. Right. I would say.
At least you're tight trucks, right?
Yeah, kind of tight, kind of medium.
Yeah, no, I think I've been on your board before. I think it's pretty tight.
I let him ride my board one time. That was the funniest thing in the world.
Super loose.
He came back from the store and he's all, dude, I couldn't even make it like 2 pushes without falling.
Yeah, you get used to it. It's hard to get used to it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get used to it.
Yeah, man. Speaking of boards, the last time you were on the show, you had an 875 curb board. You still skating curbs or what happened?
Yeah, I haven't hit the curves in a while. I still have it set up. It has the what do you call it?
The rails.
It's got rails on it. I have the dragon wheels on it as well.
Okay. Because you were pointing at my board and you're like, wait, you got rails on this?
Yeah. No, I haven't been there in a bit. Right now I'm riding. Let's see. I think at that moment I was riding like an 825. I've been riding an 8 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, I've been running a lot of 8s.
What brand?
So right now I got a Grill skateboard.
Grill?
Yeah. And then for the first time ever, I'm trying some venture trucks.
Okay.
I always rode Thunder.
Okay.
And then Spitfires, 52s.
All right. Well, how do you like in the ventures though?
They're good. They're interesting. It's you just gotta get used to it, I guess.
Venture? Venture was my first pro truck that I bought. Like when I finally got to go get my first complete, like Christmas complete.
Yeah.
It was with Ventures, man, because they had green bushings, man. I had it. Green's my favorite color.
Is the Ventures like trying to get used to them? Is it because of turn radius or?
Well, they turn different. Their weight is different, and the way you lock in, I think, is a little different too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's like the Thunders. I feel like they're just kind of like a little bit longer, and I know there's different sizes and stuff. I'm just saying the same size is just kind of like a little bit more space. Yeah. And then I also like the way that the T goes in, like on the Thunder on the Ventures is kind of like a pyramid, like a triangle.
Yeah, like
whereas the Thunder kind of like goes really in.
Dude,
kind of into it, like skinny.
Yeah.
You know? So I know it's like silly, right? But it's like a visual thing.
It's a visual thing.
Yeah,
okay.
because I'm so used to the other ones, you know. But I just wanted to try it to see what it was like.
Dude, I'm skating Ventures right now, and it's funny how you said it goes down like that, because that kind of, when I'm switching it with the skate tool, it's kind of hard to get the skate tool on the hardware and stuff to get it off.
The inside, right?
Yeah, and I think that thing kind of blocks it. But they're pretty good. I like them. Just getting used to them too, like you said.
Yeah, and I think I don't know, but I gotta check. I think the position of the base plate is just a little bit different. Like I think they go in a little bit more.
Whereas like where they set the holes, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the base is like right here, let's say, and then the trucks, they can sit either here or they can sit here or they can sit like here.
Right.
Right. So like it really depends. I think they kind of sit a little bit closer to like the outside, let's say. So I don't know. I don't know that much about like all the measurements and stuff, but I know it does affect, like you mentioned, like you lose some tricks with certain boards.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
like because I used to rock like Destructos, which I still do for the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
But once I tried to use that at the skate park the other day when I think I broke a board or something, and I went and grabbed my ramp board, and man, like Listo, like trucks tight didn't have the same, they're not tight. But the turn radius is not the same as the Indies. Yeah. Indies have a great turn radius.
You said Destructo?
Yeah, Destructos.
Yeah, because they just came back not long ago.
Yeah.
I think they already disappeared again.
Did they probably? I mean, I used to like those trucks back in the day for the fact that, because I would buy one pair of trucks and those things, those hangers were real beefy.
I see.
And you could grind them and you would never mess up your little bolt right there. It would never get grinded down, so you could always take it on and off. As of other trucks, sometimes you grind it so far down where you barely had half a nut, you know, and then if for some reason you had to change your bearings, it was almost impossible to get that thing back on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you had to rethread the whole thing.
Right. So it's like, but I think nowadays things are a lot stronger and the threading's better. Like
for sure.
I feel like the trucks, like even the sides, like, you know, like I remember even having a tough time before, like getting the wheels off. Because I would smash the sides so much, the axles.
But even the hollow technology's gone better, because I remember breaking so many hollows when they first started coming out when I was younger.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I think
you're a thick boy then.
Yeah, I've always been a thick boy.
All right, well, let's get into because we dude, again, like, let's get into question number 2. Like on the first episode.
That was like that, right?
Yeah, it was.
Question number 1, we talked for like 15 minutes.
It was a good one, man.
Yeah.
So, what are you working on now? Let's talk about that.
Working on in what sense though?
Okay, well, I know that you're doing. I don't know. Can we talk about what we're working on with your little
sure.
Skate to Live?
Yeah, I mean, well, let's see, skating wise. So, still got my website, skatetolive.com.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started it, I started it with 3 other people, and then by the time we actually launched, I lost one of them. So it was 3 of us. And then now it's just me.
Now it's just you.
Now it's just me. But I kind of had to like reconnect. It took me a while for it to happen.
Okay.
But I reconnected. I've been just trying to like, you know, just write a little bit of stories about skating. So the last one that I wrote was actually about Jkwon.
Okay.
So I had to do a little history. I had to check a little bit of like, you know, when did it first start? Like, you know. And then I had to check my backup of my pictures and like videos and stuff like that. So it was just kind of like talking about it. And then, you know, we're working on the review for Where the Locals Sk8.
Yes, we are.
So, you know, I figured it was kind of like a good collaboration, because I feel like Where the Locals Sk8 is literally what Skate to Live is. Like the same mission, the same purpose.
Right.
Which is to give voice to skaters,
mm-hmm.
you know. And regardless of like their professional or their amateur status or where they sit in the skate industry, let's say.
Right.
So when I thought about it, when I mentioned it to you, that was my idea. My idea was, I think it'd be great to do a review on Where the Locals Sk8, because it's literally what Skate to Live is about, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, we have the same passion for skateboarding as others do too, and we just want to get their voices out.
For sure. So yeah, working on that, and then This year, I'm thinking I'm gonna do like a quick run of like some boards with some graphics. I'll probably do like some FR25 graphics.
Okay.
But I really want to like maybe do like a board company, something small. I'm just having trouble figuring out the name.
Okay.
Because I want a name that it's like easy to say in English, that it's easy to say in Spanish, that it's also kind of like easy to understand as well.
I get you.
But yeah. That's like skate left, I guess.
Mm.
And then I have this goal for for this year. I just turned 39 early in this year. So my goal for my 40th birthday is I want to film a video part.
Okay.
So I've never done that in my life. I've always filmed stuff here and there with friends, but I've never thought of like, I'm going to write down some of the tricks. I'm going to write down a project.
Ooh.
I'm going to go for it. And
serious.
I just started, so I literally have just like 2 clips, but I have 2 clips at least,
right?
And I have like a whole bunch of notes of the things that I'm.
Are you trying to do? Are you trying to do like a 40 for 40 type of deal, or just you want to put?
No.
Okay.
No, I've done the skate your age challenge before.
Okay.
I think the last one I did was probably like 37.
Okay.
So just do 37 flat gun tricks.
Yeah, they try to tell me something at 45. I'll just turn 45, and they're like, do 40. Like, nah, maybe 45 second, line. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of rolling.
Yeah, no, I've done it. I've done the skate your age challenge probably like 3 or 4 times, and I'm beat after that for sure.
I bet.
But it's fun to like challenge yourself and be like, damn, I can really do 40 tricks. You know what I mean? Like you can really do like different tricks. But no, this one is just kind of like, again, what I was mentioning, I'm editing the video of my friends when we were like kids, when we were like teenagers. I have a few clips that I filmed with them, not long ago. I'm going to try to go meet up with them in the middle of this year as well, and try to get some clips here and there. But yeah, I just thought about like, I want to have the feeling of that,
Right.
I never been sponsored. I never tried to be.
Mm-hmm.
So there was never any pressure to do anything with skating other than just have fun.
Have fun, right.
But again, I've been itching because I've been filming some stuff for the last 5 years or so. Mm-hmm. And I just film stuff just to film it, not because
like
I was
Instagram.
Working on something. Yeah. Just to film it. And actually with Skate to Live, I started doing more stuff. I bought myself a camera. I try to like, learn how to like shoot skating and also try to like film skating.
And you're going to do everything. You're going to edit it as well.
Yeah. So like I've been learning how to edit. I've been learning how to like film. I got to ask like, I have a lot of homies that film. They're good at it. Mm-hmm. So, just asking for tips like, oh, what do you do here? What do you do there? And then just, when you go out skating with a lot of different friends, a lot of them have like, these goals or these dreams, actually filming for stuff.
Right.
So I think for me, it's just going to be easier in the way of like, all right, yeah, I'm just going to do something over here on the side. Well, where they're doing like, the 20 stair rail, I'll go skate the curve that's like right next to it,
Yeah.
But yeah, so kind of just doing a little bit more of the things that I like to do. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So trying to skate more and trying to do more in skating, let's say.
That's cool, man. That's cool, yeah, because I'd like to see a little part, and then, that's all gonna be on the website, right?
Yeah, I'll probably push that on the website. We have like a YouTube channel as well.
What's a YouTube?
I think it's youtube.com/skate2live. Probably like an underscore in there somewhere, because probably Skate to Live wasn't available specifically.
Probably.
But yeah, so like for example, the last video that I finally got to edit, I filmed like last summer. And it was with this Colombian kid who we skated in Jkwon for like a day. And he just like murdered the spot. Like he did so many tricks that I was just like, all right, let's just film something, Mm-hmm. And he did tray flip no slide on the big block. He did no slide big hill out on a line. He did like so many crazy tricks.
What was his name?
His name is Juan David Pardo. He was actually in that video.
The Caravana?
Yeah, he was in that video because he shared a part with the 2 other Mexican dudes.
All right.
And it was around that time that we filmed this thing. So I got like, I don't know, a good 2 minutes of him just like destroying Jkwon. Just doing so many things. But yeah.
And that's not out yet.
That one was the last one. Yeah,
Okay,
that was the last one.
On Skate to Live?
Yeah, on Skate to Live. And then the next one that's coming up is going to be the 20-something-year-old video of my friends and I.
Okay.
And then I have like another one after that already prepared in my head.
That's cool, man. We'll definitely check that out, and I'll definitely give you that a follow as well, your YouTube channel.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, it's I don't see these things as a job or as like as a goal. It's just like an expression, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like even with the website, like I have no pressure whatsoever. It's just like sharing my thoughts and sharing my experiences, and then hopefully people will relate to them just because as skaters we kind of live very similar lives,
Oh yeah.
So it's just on that. It's
agree.
nothing to become famous or rich or because I feel like those things just don't work. You just got to do it for the love.
For the love.
Yep.
Exactly. If that happens later on, that happens.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, and we appreciate you doing a story on us, dude. That was cool. You sent us some questions that we had to answer. These guys had their own questions, and then today we went out skating, and you were shooting some photos. It was really fun, man.
Yeah.
Hey, and your questions, like, they were good questions, made me think,
Yeah.
You had me stumped on a couple. I was like, I've never thought about this.
Yeah. Well, I just figured because you guys been doing this for like a little over a year now, right?
Oh yeah.
And it takes a lot. It takes a lot because you guys. I mean, I know you guys are doing this for just the love. Right, you guys are doing it to show the stories of all the homies that you have. Right?
Yeah.
So
and nobody's paying us to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so like that's exciting to me. You know what I mean? Like when you can relate to somebody. And I also thought it was important for us to skate first, though, because I feel like
I think we're
you
gonna
gotta do that. You gotta do that more. You know what I mean? Because that's the base. That's what connects everybody.
Right.
It
is true. Like it does make it easier, especially if we have skated with the person that's on the show before.
Yeah.
But I could see it better, like breaking the ice, like getting to a little skate session in before the show.
Yep.
But sometimes, like I wouldn't mind if maybe we can go meet at like a skate park, like right close by here, the Mayberry Park or something. That I'll have time to do.
Yeah.
But today we drove all the way out to Pomona and hit a street spot. And that was like,
yeah, but there you go. We got some real footage, like some real skate footage.
I know, and like we said in the beginning,
dudes over there, they kill it all the time. Like I seen him get footage all the time. They're like on a mission.
My knees are killing me from jumping that fence.
But it was cool seeing them in action. Like seeing how their dynamic and stuff like that. Like how you guys hype each other up and stuff. And like you guys take your turns and stuff.
Did you count how many?
All right, you're a little tired with your arm. Let me help you out. Like it's dope. It's dope seeing the dynamic.
As we going on the skate sessions, we're starting to like learn how to like work with each other. How to work with other skaters we're working with, and it's just like noticing like it's just not about us. It's about everybody that's with us.
Yeah.
So
especially because like we just started a little like homies. Like it's not even anything like to get sponsored or anything. It's just like a homie video.
Yeah.
And it's people even that I've met through the podcast that I've built these relationships with, and I've like just hung out with them. They've had the same. I've always wanted to film a part just to look back at something. So I was like, let's do it. We hang out all the time. We go skating together. Why not?
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the rad part about it. When he said that they started doing this and they knew each other from skating, but once we did the podcast, then they're really like, hey, they got that thing going now. And now they're like always every weekend pretty much trying to put in work. So that's rad.
Yeah. I mean, you guys put in the podcast a lot of people that are like in the same situation, right?
Yeah.
Like they're doing it for their love. Like they're struggling maybe with a whole bunch of other stuff, but they'll still make the time to skate and to film and to put something out.
And they all do their own thing as well. Like musicians, artists. We've had like all walks of life come through here already, like some of them probably should be pros. Some of them, they just do it for the love. And, man.
Yeah, to me it's funny because I get to see some of the people that I've met that I didn't know you guys knew. Or I get to, see other people that I know they're friends with other people that I skate with, or like I see them all the time at the parks and stuff like that. And you're like, oh wow, that's their story.
But it is amazing though. There's been a few people that come to the studio that we've never once met ever, and they hey, can I be on the show? Yeah, dude, like that's rad. But
That's it.
That I love when they like when they start, hey, dude, I heard I was called out. Like, what's up? Yeah, dude, let's get you on. You know what I mean? So
I was gonna say the best part about it too is like even if we don't know, we walk away at the end of the show with the new friendship,
Oh,
and it's like
sure.
it's like now we can go like. You go to another city and be like, oh, I remember this dude from Where the Locals Sk8 live. I'm going to hit him up. Hey, what's up? Come skate with us. Let's go film. Let's go. Maybe they'll show us around their city. Like, we get to see it now. We heard it from them vocally. Now we get to see it visually.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
Sick. Hell yeah. That's sick. Well, yeah, if you guys ever go to LA, that's where I skate all the time.
Yeah. Like I said, I gotta, but you guys go on Sundays to the Jkwon, and that's the day we do the show.
Yeah,
so
that's the only day you can do it. That's the day.
I know it's really unless we do like another Saturday, show, and then
well, you can do an early session.
But then I'm
come
like,
back at the night session.
But then we do a Saturday show. We're like, yes, we got the next day off. Like
that's when I go home and I play Resident Evil the rest of the day.
Yeah. So, dude, again, man, it's so rad. I can't wait to see how that project comes out for us. And we'll definitely send everybody over to that to your website.
Yeah, no, I mean I'll do the same. I'll send the people over there. And like I was mentioning, like everything on the website is posted in English and Spanish.
That's rad.
So you guys can share it with your tias. You guys can share it with your grandparents. You know what I mean? I did that, when I wrote something, I share it with my parents so they can read it,
Yeah.
Or I share it with my friends, the ones that don't speak English, or the ones that never got the chance to learn and stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah.
It'll be cool, all of you, even if you don't speak Spanish, you are.
I can read it. I just don't know what I'm.
All of us have like Spanish last names, and we all have like Latino culture behind us. So.
Yes.
So I always go and make sure you represent,
For sure, man. Yeah. You'll hear me at the skate park. I'll yell like, I weigh. Like, I'm crazy. so that'll come out like some, like it happens.
Yeah.
But if you start throwing Spanish at me all crazy, I'll be like, We're
gonna have to do a word a day with Skate Show.
Oh, let's do it.
This is your word of the week.
Yeah. It's all skate words.
Because again, if you guys start doing it in Spanish as well, like you guys are gonna expand even more your market. Like your audience. Too.
I would love to figure out a way like how to maybe even in the future some AI will probably do it for us. But like just translate our shows into different languages so that way other people can watch them in different countries as well.
Yeah, what would
even maybe like caption, that, right? The captions or something like that. Because I know. Somebody, I forget what podcast does that, but it costs them a lot of money to find somebody to actually translate it correctly.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
unless you have somebody that can do it. But it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Especially if you're translating into Spanish and they have to sit there and listen to everything and type it all out to get it correctly.
Yeah.
I've done captioning when we do these funny videos when we do voiceovers. I'm like, wow, I didn't know this much work went into it just for like a 5-minute segment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then if you guys do a podcast 20. Like 20 minutes, an hour,
20 usually
take forever.
We go. So
yeah.
All right, and you're still working for that toy company?
Yeah, I'm still working for that toy company. That's like my 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. So I'm
still getting your stickers made and everything.
Well, I don't get them made there.
You don't make them there?
No, that's a toy company. So I work for a toy company, and I do. My official title is Digital Design Manager.
Okay.
But I do a lot of packaging, websites, and anything to do with digital assets for the company.
That's cool.
So I've been working there it's going to be a little over 8 years now. But so yeah, it's fun. I get to work with toys,
and play with skateboards.
But that's like apart from my 9 to 5. So I also do my my own art and my own like brand stuff. Let's say.
Right.
Yeah. So I do T-shirts, hats, stickers, buttons.
Like we've showed it on the other show as well. Yeah. But you do things like make stickers like this little guy right here, this monkey dude skating. I love this dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I draw a lot of animals. I like to humanize animals. I like to draw a lot of characters.
Is that one of your shirts you're wearing too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one right here.
I noticed that and I was like, I really like that.
Yeah, it's called the Swamp Homie. So it's not a monster. And it's actually wearing some S's right now. Some SC.
Yes.
Yeah, got some skate shoes.
But
yeah,
some
so
gold teeth too.
Yeah, I got some gold teeth. Normally all my characters, I always think of my characters that have like a lot of style and they're really cool. Mm-hmm. They can live either in New York or in LA, you know?
Yeah.
And they can vibe with anybody. Mm-hmm. So they wear like, you know, hoodies, they got tattoos, they got gold teeth.
They kind of remind me of that from Nickelodeon, All Real Monsters. I don't know if
Okay,
you've ever seen that.
I like that show. That show was cool.
With the eyes.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, I've been drawing ever since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And then I've been drawing my own stuff ever since I was like 18 or 19. Because before that, I would always draw anything that I saw. Right? So I had a reference. I had obviously my favorite cartoons and my favorite shows.
Right.
So I would draw everything like that.
Yeah.
And then at some point, like around 18 or 19, I consciously like started drawing from what I would have in my head. So no reference, no nothing, just like what's in my head, I'm gonna draw that. And then I started coming up with like my own style and my own own things, you know, as time went on.
Like Claudio.
Yeah.
I love this.
What does it say? How high
can Claudio get?
can Claudio?
So that one
Claudio.
is Cloud of the Cloud. It's like a character that I made and actually made a whole collection
I
out of it.
have a pin out actually too.
So I did the pin, I did a beanie, shirt, 2 stickers. I did like 4 or 5 different prints, and then I have an actual sculpture that I also did.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I drew the character, and I had a company did like a 3D of it, and then I got it 3D printed, and then I hand painted each one of them.
That's so cool.
So I made a total of 10, and I think I probably have like 3 left.
Oh wow.
Yeah, now. But yeah, it's like the first time I wanted to do a collection based out of just one single character.
Yeah.
So I came up with the name of Claudio the Cloud. So Claudio the Cloud. And it's a really high cloud because clouds are high. Mm-hmm. And it's a play on words. So it's high, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what type of high it is.
I think we know. His eyes are low.
And then I kind of use all the skills that I have, right? So like, for the packaging, I made a custom box. I made, something with all the sides, and then like, I painted.
You can do that from work or no?
No, I mean, I do that from my experience of work.
Oh, okay.
But no, everything I just printed on my own.
Dang, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't work at a print shop like you do, because if I work at a print shop, I'll be printing all of my stuff there.
I can imagine. The only problem is like I know people like sometimes ask me for some stuff, but I don't have access to the computer to get it to the print.
I see. You
know what I mean? There's office people that do that part.
Yep.
I'm the guy that just grabs the file and puts it in the machine.
Yep.
I can't load the file. I can, if somebody puts the file in their computer,
you can get it.
I can get it. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so sometimes they'll let me do some stuff, like yeah, so like I'll say it's for my cousin or some shit,
Yeah, you'll see like, oh yeah, my grandma needs a blah blah blah.
Something. And they're all your grandma's skates?
Yeah. Yeah, because shout out to Shitty Prada out there. He asked me to make him some stickers, so they'll be like, your grandma has Shitty Prada? So,
but yeah, I've been making art, doing stuff since I was a kid, and it's something that I do a lot as well.
Yeah,
and I think it's so connected with skating too.
Of course.
And I think it's one of the things that I think it's most related with skating is that with art, like anybody can do it. Like anybody can draw, anybody can paint. A lot of people just like say they don't or they can't, but they just haven't literally physically tried.
Right.
And I think that's what's related to skating the most. Like nobody can force you to skate. Mm-hmm. Nobody. Mm-hmm. Nobody can convince you. Nobody can say like, nobody can put the board under your feet. You have to do it yourself.
You have to
push.
You
You have to go and push. You have to go into the spot. You have to go climb the fence. Mm-hmm. And with art, it's pretty much the same. Like, again, I feel like everybody can paint. Everybody can draw. Maybe not good. Maybe not efficient, let's say. Right. But everybody can do it. But the people that actually do it are the ones that are like considered artists.
I trip out that people you don't necessarily have to have straight lines. You know what I mean? It's so like I've seen people do stuff that I'm like, for instance, like neck faces art. Like it's kind of scratchy and all over the place, and I'm like,
yep.
And he got really good and famous at it, right? And now he's putting things up at Tony Hawk's,
Yep.
ramp. So you're like, I could chicken scratch like that, but I never thought, because you would think, oh, who's going to like this stuff, right? You kind of set yourself back a little bit, not thinking that it could actually go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't
So you
think
gotta take
about
the risk,
you don't think about the fact that you have to practice, kind of like anything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say it's so much like skating, because everything that you do in skating, you had to earn that.
Mm-hmm.
You had to work at it. You had to go and do it. You had to physically do it. With art, it's literally the same thing. Everybody can do it. Just a few people are the ones that actually are doing it, and they decide to move forward with it. But I've been making stuff ever since I was like a kid. Like I mentioned, I go to Designer Con every year. Like at the end of the year, I've been going for the last 6 years now.
Okay.
That's kind of like the big show that I do. But then I do some gallery stuff here and there. Every now and then I get invited to do a painting or to do a sculpture.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
I'm trying to connect with that as well a little bit more. When I did SkaterCon last year, that was like at the end of the year. For that one, I painted like 3 boards that I wanted to paint, like hand painted.
Right.
And it had been a while. It's something that I used to do a lot when I was like a teenager.
And they want you to do it there at the place, or
no. It was just like
I
just did it. I just did it for that one because I just felt like it was a good excuse to
get one done.
Yeah, to get one done. So I had one done, and then I got excited, and I did 2 more. And then I got really excited because it's something I used to do when I was like younger.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of blank boards and I would just paint them.
That's cool.
I would just make my own characters, or like, I think I had like a Calvin and Hobbes skateboard that I had just painted the characters on. Again, like I mentioned, growing up, I had, all the things that you would like. So I drew a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff, Bugs Bunny, or like Daffy Duck, or, whatever.
Yeah.
You just draw. You just try to mimic whatever it is that you like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, dude, that's so rad, dude.
Do you know what I was thinking? Like, how you have your characters, like Claudio, and then what's that dude's name on your shirt?
Swamp Homie.
The Swamp Homie.
Swamp Homie. Imagine just making a cartoon of that, like a show cartoon, and skateboarding of all your characters. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be dope. But it's
gotta connect with Reese.
Yeah, you gotta. There you go. That'd be a good person to connect with.
Yeah.
He's really good with animations. I haven't done animations in a bit.
He collaborated with graphics artists, right?
I saw, like God of Graphics. Their collaboration was really, really dope. His work is amazing. I love seeing all his stuff.
And it's
so clever. Too, It's so clever and like well put. And
I just saw the Utah one today.
Yeah.
Where he's holding the sign that says, "Well, you tornado for food."
Yeah.
I was like, that is awesome, dude.
Yeah. One of the last ones that I saw that he posted was it's kind of like the story of a dude who's just filming himself, right? And it's like,
the funky's falling down.
Yeah. And he's trying to do kickflip back tail, kickflip out, and the friend is like, "Nah, dude, I'm not gonna film that because you're never gonna land that, right?"
Yeah.
So it was just like so relatable, right? Like it was just kind of so funny. That's what made me like.
Hell yeah! Dude.
I think it's clever for sure.
My favorite one was the focusing on the face, the board, the face, the board, the trick, and then it's like the back to the.
And then they missed the trick.
But no, because he films. He's like, get this trick, and he goes, "Oh, you filmed it like shit." And then he goes, "What? No, you're supposed to zoom into my face, zoom into my feet, back to my face, zoom into the trick." And it's like all this shit that you see on every video nowadays, and you're like, "Oh my god, dude!" Like, and then face it again at the end, and he's like, "Yeah, that's the way to do it." Yeah. And the guy's like, barely got the trick. It's funny. It's funny to me.
I think I find it funny too, because like having the filming background, I'm like, what's the whole point of that shot? Like it's like you're trying to focus on the trick, not. What's the whole point of pointing in his face? You trying to see his facial reactions?
It's a strobe effect,
Sometimes I can see it. I can see it when the time calls for it, kind of, but not on every clip. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean the thing is that I feel like not everybody can do it well. That's the other thing too.
Yeah,
like that's.
I think it all started because of the phones, because the kids would always.
That's Strobeck. That's
Strobeck. Oh, yeah,
he was the one that did it. He's the supreme filmer, right? And he was the first one to ever do the
up in your face. Okay.
And then after that, it just kind of like spread like wildfire, and then everybody was trying to do it.
Yeah.
I see it a lot on Instagram edits, and I'm like, why? Just film it nice.
I'm gonna try that with the GoPro.
But it's what they think it's nice because it's supreme and it's a cool thing, So that's probably why they have it. But yeah, going back to like art and stuff, like a lot of the old homies,
old buddies.
the old buddies. A lot of the old buddies are artistic.
Yeah.
So I've connected with some of them. Actually, I remember during the pandemic, we did this tribute thing. A whole bunch of artists. We got together and we did this tribute thing with it was like 10 or 15 different artists. There's one dude, he organized the whole thing. Actually,
you had to draw
it's
like
Kefa Crow. I'm gonna say his name
yeah,
because
Kefa Crow.
he was the one that like he got all the artists together and he set the whole thing up.
That's cool.
What did he want to do? He wanted to do a song of all the guests that they had until that point, and he needed artists to draw between 10 to 20 different guests.
Right.
And they can draw them in whatever style they want. So I did 20.
Dang.
And I think it was like a little under 200. Like it was like 180, 170 guests up until that moment. And Kefa Crow made a song that went along with the animation of like all the guests.
That's crazy.
And it was insane. Because again, he had like 10 different other artists that all collaborated in this. So it was probably like one of the coolest things ever. And he is, as a musician, but also as a project manager, you know, because he's the one that got all the people together with the vision. And they actually did like at that moment they still had the experience,
right?
And they did like the show and they showed it on the nightclub and everything. They watched it, they played it, and they gave shout outs to like everybody, like, oh, thank you so much for doing this. It was right as during the pandemic because we wanted to make sure to get all the guests that had gone in there. And we got it like just in time because I think 2 weeks later is when they first
shut everything
down. Yeah, when they first came back.
Oh,
like,
they
fully.
Came back? Oh,
yeah.
They came back fully.
Yeah, because the idea was to, again, he made a song where he was highlighting every single one of the guests they had until that moment.
Right.
And then...
I wonder if that's on their Discord.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I can find that at YouTube. But yeah, it was super dope.
Have to check that out.
And it was crazy because then I connected with a whole bunch of different old buddies that I didn't really connect with before. And it was all through art, you know? But there's a lot of people that do a lot of cool stuff in there.
Shout out to the old buddies, man. And then your first episode here, we had Styx Champion the same day.
Yep.
So shout out to him out in the UK as well.
For sure. Yeah, that's a funny thing, you know, like I'm telling my wife, like, oh yeah, there's this British guy coming. He's like, how'd you meet this guy? I was like, I've actually never met him in person, you know. I met him through the podcast that we watch, and I think he's cool.
She's just like, don't take candy from him.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I drove him here. We were in the car for like an hour coming here and then an hour back.
That was crazy.
We're just kicking it and, you know, chatting it up.
I'm like, Far, do you think you want to do the show? And can you bring him with you? I was like, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was a good connection.
That was really funny. And then we skated at the end of the night too. We skated.
I got a little sesh.
Yeah, we did.
Although it was the ramp was all wet though.
Yeah, we couldn't skate the mini ramp, so we went to the front and we got the flat ground.
Yeah.
We skated the bar. I think we skated the. Was it the flat bar we skated? Maybe.
I think you put the flat bar on the
curb.
The slappy. The curb.
Slappy curb. Yeah. Man, good times, dude. Hell yeah. All right, you guys have any questions? Listo?
Peralta, you got any questions?
I just threw them.
I got a thing.
You guys ready?
Well, is this the end of the show?
Because we're almost. I'm not gonna forget the crazy question this time, like last time.
All right, I think I came in with a question. Do you have any kids?
I don't got any kids. I got a furry kid.
A furry kid?
Yeah.
Is that like a pet?
Yeah. I got a dog.
Like a dog.
So a furry one. A furry one.
A fur baby?
Yeah.
What's your dog's name?
Paco.
Paco?
Yeah.
Boy?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Shout out
he's
Paco.
a little homie.
What kind of dog?
He's like a Chihuahua mix. So he's like a Jack Russell and Chihuahua.
Okay.
So think about a Chihuahua with just longer legs.
Right.
That's him.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's ideal for me because I would love to have a big dog to protect and bark and scare people, but I want to pick up the turds, man. You know what I mean? Those monster turds, man. The little ones.
Well,
the landmines.
You got a gigantic backyard. You can just...
And that's why they'll probably be out way over there. Like, I got to go find that landmine.
That's funny.
But if I could train one to go in a certain spot, that'd be cool. You know what I mean? Like this.
They got dogs that like know how to flush toilets and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I actually just saw a device on Instagram to teach your cat how to use the toilet.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are people coming up with? This thing's awesome.
He's not like it's probably what they use for Meet the Parents. The cat.
The cat.
So Paco, was that named after the skate video?
No, nothing at all. We were just trying to figure out a name. I wanted Fajito.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Like fajitas, but
Yeah.
Fajito. But no, my girl was
Didn't
not about
fly.
that one.
Didn't fly.
And then we both liked the idea of Paco. So he's Mexican dog too. So we had to make sure he had like a proper Mexican name or a proper Spanish name.
All right.
So he's bilingual dog too.
That's
Nice.
cool. So better than me, huh?
Yep.
He's gonna come in here and school skate show.
Yep.
Man.
Huh. All right. I think the questions are popping up now.
Here we go.
All right. When you came out to Cali, to the States, like, did you know anybody out here or like?
Damn, beat me to my question.
Yeah.
Well, you grew up in Maine, right?
Well, no, I kind of grew up all over. So I was born in Providence, Rhode Island.
See, we gotta watch
And I
episode
left.
9.
I moved to Colombia when I was 5 years old. And then growing up as a teenager, I would come back and forth. And I would come and stay for like a year and then go back. But not to LA. I would go to South Carolina because I have some family there as well. And then after graduating college in Colombia, I moved to Boston.
Was that with your parents or just you?
Just by myself, yeah. So when I would do the back and forth, they would just send me. My parents would not come back and forth. They would just send me to like family friends.
You're
so
flying
like
by yourself?
Yeah, so like I have like a whole adopted family here in the States. They're also Colombian,
Right.
but we met them here when I was like 2 years old.
Oh wow.
And they're like literally my brothers and my sister, and like I have a whole set of parents. Let's say
Wow.
there. They're based out of South Carolina, so that's why I got to go there like a handful of times. And then when I lived in Boston, for like 6 years. I was tired of it, and I always wanted to live in LA. I tried to live in LA when I was 19 years old, when I graduated high school, and ran out of money, and lasted like, I think I was here for like 6 weeks, almost 8. And then with the little money that I had left, I took a bus from here to South Carolina.
Wow.
That took like 2 days and a half.
Yeah.
And then I stayed there and I worked for like a few months, and then I went back to Colombia and then college over there. So then when I moved from Boston, I knew a friend. Artist friend that he was the one that received me. But no, I didn't know anything or anyone. I just knew I wanted to be in LA.
Yeah.
So I made the drive. I had a friend that drove with me all the way to Denver. And then he flew back to Boston. And then from Denver, I drove by myself. And I did the trip like in a week.
Wow.
We didn't rush it or either. He was a skater friend too. So like we stopped at skate spots or skate parks. And then we stopped like in Denver for like 2-3 days. We stayed there for a little bit. Met up over there with a crew of skaters that was coming from New England. They were from Maine, and they were like doing a road trip all the way from there, and they were in Denver, and they were going all the way to Oregon. And these people are just kind of like, what we were talking about, people that are like 20 people in a van, and they're just trying to get tricks wherever.
Wow.
And we're all right, this is the skate park. It has a grill. We're going to cook some meat right here. This is what we're going to eat. We're going to keep it moving. So yeah. Didn't know any skaters when I first moved here.
So you're moving to LA to skate? Like,
yeah, well, again,
just to live
just to
LA?
be here.
Okay.
Just I like LA. Mm-hmm. I like the vibe. I grew up in a capital in a big city, so like living in a big city is what I'm used to, and so, like I like that vibe.
Yeah.
Like I'm not scared of like when people say like, oh, it's too dangerous or too much traffic. It's like, no, it's perfect.
You feel right at home.
It's right where it's supposed to be.
That's
I've lived in a few cities. Like cities are dangerous. They always are. Like anywhere else. You just know where not to go.
Yeah, exactly.
There's been a few skate spots that I've gone to, or like a few skate parks, where I'm just like looking around and I'm like, you know what? I probably shouldn't be here. But
I was like, the spot today, I was like, is it gonna be okay over here? And I was
we were chilling right there.
Yeah,
I
and then
chill.
once I sat there in the park, I was like, I'll be all right. And I did go check on the cars real quick though while I was skating.
Yeah, just in case.
Let me go check it out, just to make sure. But yeah, man. But yeah, like anywhere, you gotta just be careful and know where you're at.
For sure.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Anything else?
All right, I got like 2 more questions. Who would you like to see next on the show?
Who would I like to see next? Let's see. Well, let's put my homie Carlos Arazu on the spot and say that he has to be on the show.
Yeah,
next.
that would be nice.
Shout out.
But let me see. Did you guys have Juan already? Footlooks?
No, I've asked him.
I feel like you guys should get Juan on the show.
I've asked him.
Shout out. Let's put him on the spot. Fotos Ayala, you should come here on the show.
You're asking for you again, man.
Juan.
There you go.
Yeah, I've asked him, and he said he's building up a YouTube channel as well.
Yep.
So I think everybody's just trying to find their right moment. The ones that we've asked sometimes, So yeah, I mean, I think it'll happen when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it for sure.
You know what I mean? So we don't want to really put too much pressure on anybody to come here, but whenever they're ready, dude, we're down, dude. The mics are ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was here for Johnny's episode, the first time.
That's my guess.
He's been in the studio. He just didn't do an episode.
Yeah.
So shout out to him, man. He's doing great work out there too, man.
Yeah, no, his filming work is really good, and his photos too.
Yeah,
he takes really good photos.
And
taking like skate photos is not easy. It's hard as hell.
I'm sure
it's hard. It's hard because you gotta like anticipate. You gotta like visualize. It's so many things,
Got to get that timing right, depending on what you want. You know, like if
and hopefully the person can get the trick, because even if you got a good shot and they don't get the trick,
you can't use a pick.
Yeah.
You hear that out there? You can't use a pick.
There's been instances, I've heard that before, where they just run the pick and the video never comes out, or they never get it.
Right, or like they're supposed to go back and get it, and they never do.
It never happens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it like that one picture where they have Eric Costin in the background in one sequence, and then in the next sequence he's just magically gone, and then he's back again in the next sequence?
I don't remember that one.
There's an ad out there like that where someone's doing a trick, and then it's a sequence. And then in one part of the sequence, you see Eric Costa in the background. Then he's gone. Then he's right back in the same place as he's landing. So like in the middle of the trick,
it all together.
Yeah,
that's weird.
That's funny.
It was a funny thing. I saw it somewhere on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or like I think it's happened before. They get a photo, and then when you see the actual part or something, they'll be wearing something different. They're like, wait a minute. Oh, they had to go back twice. So did they really land it? But they landed the video.
I feel like it's one of those things that, like, as a kid, you think, well, first, everything is first try.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then, two, everything you're seeing was actual make.
But then, and then you see the slam sections, like, they used to always have that at the end.
Yep.
And that's when you're like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Like, and so, yeah, man, I always used to trip on that.
For sure.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, last question. Any advice to skaters out of the country trying to come to the U.S.?
Another question taken away.
I beat you to it. Any advice?
I mean, my advice is make your way out. I feel like in skating, but also in life, what helps you grow and what gives you perspective is traveling. I feel like one of the things that I enjoy the most is traveling. Just because it gives you like a different perspective on life, it gives you an appreciation of the things that you have, it puts you on the spot, it makes you like understand different cultures and different spots. And for skating, like whenever, we were talking about this, right? Like when you go and meet a skater, they figured out so many other things. So like you can share tricks and tips, right? Mm-hmm. Like let's say you're at a spot and it's like, you know what, dude, I figured out that if you put your foot right here, like you can do this trick way easier. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I feel like that happens a lot in skating. So for anybody who is trying to like make it in skating, I think leaving your comfort zone, it's really important. And trying to just make it anywhere. Like if you can only go to like the next town over, go to the next town over, If you can go to a whole other country, by all means go for it. But again, if your budget is only for like local travel, start doing that, because the sooner you do that, the more you're going to grow. And also for skating, you have to build your name everywhere, right? So if you're trying to make it in skating, like if you're trying to become professional and paid for it, the more places that they know you, the more demand you're going to build, right? So it is only going to make sense that if you're like trying to make it, if you visit as many places as possible, imagine when your board comes out, like 20,000 people are going to know you just because like you've been to their spot, you've been to their local spot, you know? So I've noticed that like the ones that are really good at doing that are the ones that become really successful. Because they build demand in multiple places, not just their local spot.
Right.
You know? Because, like, sure, you can be, like, the best skater at your local, and maybe you're going to get, you know, a board, a pro board, but only, like, you know, your local shop is going to buy it, and the people that know you're going to buy it, right?
Right.
Because to the outside world...
Who are you?
Yeah. Unless you have, like, a lot of videos. But then you need to have videos in places where people would see them, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you can't just have a homie video, because that doesn't reach... Yeah. That doesn't reach a different country or, like, a different city. So I would say... travel, you know, no matter what the budget is. If you just gotta go next town over, do that.
And be a cool dude.
Yeah.
Or girl.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, being cool. I mean, I think in skating as well. Like, I think we all know of a lot of people that are probably like really, really good at skating, and we always think like, why are they not sponsored by like the best companies? And then you know, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is you gotta be cool. You gotta be you gotta fit the van. You gotta fit the vibe. You know, a lot of kids think like all you gotta do is the tricks. Yeah. No, you gotta hang. You know, you gotta be like getting in a van and like driving for 10 hours and be chill, not be like grumpy or be like complaining about everything. Yeah. If you go to a spot, you gotta go and skate. You can't just like go and hang out. You know. You can't go and just like roll something up and smoke it. You know what I mean? Like, no, you go in there to work.
Yeah, be like, you know, cordial about it. Like, be like, hey, dude, like, is it cool? Is it cool? You guys cool? Or whatever. If they say go over there, go over there. You know, but and like, there's times where like, I've heard of stories. I can't say who, but somebody go there to a spot though, and sometimes they did too good in front of pros, and they didn't like that because they were just too eager. Yeah, you know, so they're like, "Who? Look at this guy, dude, relax, bro." So sometimes you want to just fill out the vibe and stuff, you know.
Yeah, you're right. You can't do too much either.
Yeah, you know? It's kind of you got to know how to play that little.
Yeah. Well, especially like you're saying, if you're going with a whole bunch of like established people, I feel like the best thing to do there is just like let them skate and figure out what trick they're gonna try.
Right.
And then you try something completely different.
Exactly.
And that's it. You know.
You go there, do every trick in the book, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Now, what am I gonna do, bro? Thanks."
Yeah. For sure.
But man, that's cool.
Dude, that was some awesome advice, bro. Like, I could really relate to a lot what you said and what I was doing wrong, because I've been skating for a while and I've seen a lot of things that I did wrong that from your advice that you just said it, and I'm gonna keep that in mind. You know, like one of them is just getting out there. You know, because you might be your local hero, but who are you somewhere else? Yeah. That was very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this to a few amps before in the past of like, just, you got to build that, people need to want your product, right? Mm-hmm. They need to have your board. They need to have your graphic. They need to have your shirt, whatever it is. But you got to build that. You got to build that need, you know? And the easiest way to do it is just going everywhere.
You gotta show up.
Yeah, go everywhere and just be you. You know, if you're cool, if you're genuine and authentic, that translates too. You know.
Yeah, man. I'm not the best skater out there, but I know all you guys, right? I met so many pros.
There you go.
Now they know me. You know.
You see, you launch a sponsor me tape tomorrow. You get a sponsor in 2 days.
No, I doubt that, but you know, sponsor me I don't know what they would give me. I'll just like some liquid death up there. Hello. No.
Should we send another email?
Yeah, well, I'll write it this
time. I'll send it in Old English.
Oh, there we go. Then they'll respond because that's what they like.
But they're based out in Australia, so.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
They're coming out with 12-ounce cans, I heard. So.
Yeah, it's an Australian brand.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that where Richie Jackson's from? That he started bringing it around?
I have no idea.
I thought Richie Jackson started it this whole time.
No. He must have been one of the first people to get sponsored by them or something like that. Maybe that's why he pushed it. But no.
Maybe we should know this stuff if we want to get the.
Let's see.
Let's talk to Richie.
You know what I'm saying?
I've met him one time.
So, you got anything, Peralta?
No, fortunately, Listo took my two
Listo
questions
took
that I
my
thought
two
were really
questions.
awesome. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Who do you see anybody coming up right now in skateboarding that you're excited about? Any local or maybe even a am out there?
Oh man, there's so many.
I believe it.
Yeah, there's so many, but I'm just gonna keep it like with the Colombians.
Mm-hmm.
So like I see a lot of Colombian kids coming up, and there's like I'm excited because there's
cool.
like some kids that they're doing stuff all over, you know, and we were talking earlier about Janka. He's killing it, but he's already put himself in a good position,
yeah,
you know.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't see him as coming up. He's already established.
He came up.
And he's gonna
He's
be
still
killing
getting
it
up there.
for like the next few years on.
His podium's just getting taller.
Yeah,
There you
but
go.
there's like a handful of Colombian kids that are killing it. Like in LA, there's I'm just gonna throw out names. Why not? So in LA, there's Jesus. He skates a lot with Michael.
Jesus Munoz?
No, Jesus Trujillo.
Okay.
Jesus with Michael and Miguel. Miguel is a twin, twin of Daniel. They're like the redhead twins.
Okay.
Those 4 kids right there, they're killing it here in LA. Killing it.
Shout out.
And they're doing videos and they're doing like the tricks that they do and the style that they have is insane.
Are they getting any sponsorships?
Yeah. Here and there, little by little, they're coming up. Jesus and Michael, they just recently did a Grizzly tour. Like they did a demo tour. So they've been getting on that.
That's cool.
The twins, I feel like the twins that got so much style, they get so many opportunities. But like I feel like they're just still trying to just skate and see what comes with it.
That's cool.
And then in Colombia, well, one of my favorite ones is Pollo. He's like a homie of mine. He's sponsored by, like I told you, like a Mexican brand. He's gonna be here in LA probably like in June or in the summer. He's coming to skate. He's sponsored by a Brooklyn Project as well. He was in the VP video. And with that kid, for example, I met him like 2000, probably like 16 or so.
Okay.
And he's like a really well, complete skater. Like he can do handrails, he can skate a pool,
All terrain.
he can skate, he can do manuals, he can do tricks. He's all terrain.
Yeah.
And then when he started filming for the VP video, he was staying at my place for a bit. And then one day I was there with like 2 other friends. We were just hanging out. And he's like, yo, guys, I just came back from like, skating and filming. It's like, you guys want to see? And we're like, all right, yeah, sure. So he shows like a trick, and the trick is, pretty okay. And then he shows this other one. It's like a really famous rail. I don't remember the name. Where he does a front lip. It's like a huge gap to front lip. And I'm just like, what did I just see? Like, and then with the other 2 dudes, we're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So at that moment, I was just realizing, like, dude, this dude is
on another level.
It's coming up. And then I got to film like a second angle. Mm-hmm. He did like a 50-50 of this like 30 stair handrail. And I'm in the 4th floor of a parking garage structure to get the entire goddamn thing in there. And when he did that one, that was like another thing of like, damn, these kids they don't play, you know what I mean? Like they're on a different level now.
Not playing no more.
Yeah. And then my favorite Colombian skater right now, or it's been my favorite Colombian skater for the last 5 years, is Juan Pablo Vélez. You guys should look him up. He is like a powerhouse. Like he has so much goddamn power in his legs. His tricks are just like so good. He skates street really well, but he's really well put together skater as well. He does handrails. He skates tranny. Okay. But he's way more tech than Pollo. And then Juan Pablo, he comes from like a family of skate legends. So his older brother is Tal Cual, who is like a really famous Colombian skater, who opened up the gates for like a lot of skating in Colombia. And he's hit up some spots here in the States too, that are like, up there. So he's coming from like, I call it like skate royalty, you know what I mean? Like when your older brother is like considered one of the top skaters in Colombia, like street skaters, like he's taken that like the name, I guess, and just pushing it forward. And that's another kid. I think he's going to be coming sometime soon. I hope he does, because
that'll be rad.
Yeah, like seeing them skate in person is like a trip for me. But yeah, I think it was kind of like here where I just became like really fascinated with all these Colombian kids, just because it's kind of like seeing your favorite skaters growing up, but they're your homies as well.
That's the best.
So it's like
you back them up 100%.
Yeah. I gotta back them up.
Yeah, when you meet somebody in person, and then you start rooting for them too, because especially if they're a cool dude, you're like, hey, I like that guy.
Yeah, no, I gotta back them up just because they're putting it. They're doing it, you know. They're putting it down. They're also putting the country like in a good spot, you know. They're putting a good name out there.
That's what's up.
You know, it's cool. It's cool that you like some Colombian skaters and you're like, oh damn, they're coming up. They're dope, you know. Because it's something that we didn't have, you know, like growing up. And I feel like that happens a lot for a lot of Latin American countries, except for Brazil. You know, Brazil was kind of like
they were hot for a second.
Yeah.
Japan,
but like over. Like Peruvians now, like there's Angelo Caro.
Oh,
dude. He's really insane. I just saw this other Peruvian dude.
Colored hair?
No, I don't remember. He did the U tornado, but the opposite way.
Damn.
And I was just like, what the hell, you know? But it's cool because like like there is no history and no names of professional skaters there.
Right.
And in Colombia, and I want to say like everywhere else, you're only like really, really a pro skater if you're a pro skater for like an American brand. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Like if you're a pro skater for like a Colombian brand or a Brazilian brand, in the outside world, you're not considered a pro skater. You know, you only get the validation when you get stamped by like Baker or like Creature or like Flip or like.
But yeah.
It's like when I was watching Bob Burnquist's podcast.
Yeah.
He was talking about that. He's in Brazil, I was pro, but then I came out here and I had to start all over again.
Yep.
I had to come out here film parts,
you gotta put the weight down.
Dude, there's a like not just for skateboarding, but I had a coworker when I used to work at Yum Yum Donuts. There was this dude that was a police officer. Then he came out here to the States, and he's no longer a police officer, so he has to start all over.
Yep.
Get your badges and transfer over.
Yeah. That's really hard because you learn the law from a specific country. It doesn't translate.
It's crazy how that works.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, we're gonna give you a crazy question out of the bowl because we didn't have these before.
Damn.
So hopefully.
Look at all these questions over here.
Well, that could be. You want me to read it?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
You're the one asking the question.
As long as we have the guests read them. Let's see. What question did we ask you last time that was pretty crazy?
I wasn't here for that one.
I wrote it down too, but this one says, "What superpower would you want if you had a superpower?"
Superpower.
Ooh, that's a good one.
All right, let's make it skate related. So
okay.
It's at least skate related. I would like to have rubber ankles.
Ooh, that's a real good one.
Because I would throw myself off of everything if I had rubber ankles.
Here we go. Watch out, Sheckler. Bigger gaps.
I forget who got the same question, and they said speed, like Flash.
Jeremy Ray.
Yeah, Jeremy Ray.
Jeremy Ray said if he
would be like
so
Flash?
if he could go faster, then he can go further.
Oh.
So his ollies would be longer, further.
Further gaps and stuff.
Yep.
I think Johnny's superpower question are kind of connected to skating too.
Jumping dimensions.
Yeah, he said he'd want to jump dimensions just to get like a different perspective of skating in different dimensions.
Ooh, that's funny.
Damn. So rubber ankles, huh? What would you jump off of?
I don't know, man.
Oh,
probably just do like a 5-stair and I'll feel better. But no, I'm kidding. If I have rubber ankles, let's see. What would I throw down? Maybe go down to a Toro or something like that. You know what I mean? Like maybe Davis Gap. Something random.
Just bang out all the bangers you can in one day.
Just do everything I never could do at a 1-stair. I'll try to do it like in a gigantic one.
Why not?
FPs will be like, "What's your secret? We need that technology."
Rubber ankles.
Rubber ankles.
Got superpowers.
I looked it up right now. It's like I said. What character do you identify with of your stickers? Was the question before, and you said the monkey.
Yeah, it's the animal that I draw the most and that I like. I feel like it's a good way to describe myself, which is like an active animal that's always like doing something. Yeah. And I really got into monkeys when I was like in college. because I started studying a little bit of pre-Columbian art.
Ah.
And then the monkey is like a symbol of, all of the things that I just mentioned, of like creativity, of like, just movement, of just like a whole bunch of different things.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's probably the animal that I draw the most, but the one that I like to draw the most too.
Shout out.
Since we're talking about monkeys, do you believe that humans' evolution was from monkeys?
I mean, it makes sense, right? I think it does make sense. I have this one theory. How about this one? We all used to live in Mars, right?
Here we go.
And we fucked it up. So they sent a single ship with just Adam and Eve to Earth so that they can go and repopulate a new planet.
Okay.
So how about that one? So the monkeys are actually from Mars that evolve, and then, or the other one that I've also heard too, which is there was a whole bunch of monkeys here, right? And then aliens came, and then they fucked something up with their DNA, and then turned them into humans after.
Right.
I've heard that one.
I mean, I would think like if I'm thinking about like the pyramids, they always show like a person with a dog head. They show like crazy things, right? So I'm thinking these aliens, whatever, came over here was like, oh, let's mix this with this, and let's mix with
until
this.
it made the human.
And then finally they go, the monkey was the one that actually worked.
I see.
Right?
That's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that because there's a alien workshop board that shows they showed like the alien, they show the human, and they said the missing link is the monkey. So
or
it's almost that's the only way it worked. So
or what if it did work with all those animals, and just over evolution, that's why people have different facial features and all that.
But that's why they were depicted in the pyramids, because they did probably have, maybe these different breeds or whatever. But
I see. Like maybe there's different types of human animals.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? That just didn't quite work out right.
Maybe that's why some
the test dummies.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe that's why some humans can run fast because they got the dog agility. Some people have
the
strength.
dog agility.
Yeah, to run fast.
I don't think dogs run that fast.
I would say like
jaguar or something like that.
Yeah, it'd be better.
Like an actual animal that runs fast.
Well, I'm just saying it as an example.
An ostrich.
That'd be crazy.
Humans
Humans that stick their head in the ground.
Yeah.
Or they don't really do that. Stick their head in the ground.
Oh no?
No,
I thought
that's
they
all
did.
a myth. No.
Or if they have the Planet of the Apes, if they actually had that actually did exist, imagine that. That'd be pretty trippy. Another planet.
You just have these three there yelling at the Statue of Liberty. Why?
They would call me Curious George when I was younger.
Yeah.
I like that show. That was a cool.
Curious
cool
George?
thing.
Did he have a tail?
Yeah, Curious George. And he had a coat,
Yep.
like a raincoat.
Yep.
And
the owner was like
they're trying to
this
say
white dude with black hair.
Yeah.
Who was like
the man in the yellow hat.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're saying that Curious George didn't have a tail, they're saying
Mandela effect?
Yeah, a little Mandela.
You know what?
effect.
I don't think he had a tail, but I don't know.
I'll look it up.
You'll look it up.
You'll look it up. They'll say both, just like
Now that I think of it, I don't remember him having a tail because monkeys have long tails.
Right.
Some of them do, not all of them do though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's some different ones for sure. Yeah.
Or the man, the white in the yellow hat, snipped his tail. We gave him a little nub.
Maybe.
Damn,
Give him a little nub.
Clipped his ears, try to pit bull him out.
Yeah.
All right. Man, dude, that's shout outs. I'm stumbling over my words here. You got any shout outs?
Shout out to you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
shout
you.
out to you. Shout out to the Couch Boys.
Yes, sir.
It was fun. It was fun skating with you guys earlier. And then shout outs to all the Colombian homies. Shout outs to all the people skating. Shout outs to anybody that wants to skate.
All right.
And is doing it. There you go.
Yeah. Where can they find it's Live to Skate on YouTube?
Skate2live.com.
Skate to Live, sorry.
Yeah, skate2live.com is the website.
The website.
Then I go by Afar25. It's kind of like an acronym of my name.
All social medias?
All social medias, Afar25, Afar25.com. Got the website there too.
I was gonna ask, why 25? Is that your age that you started it?
No, it was so I would sign my name Afar because my name is Andres Felipe Alfonso Ruiz. So Afar. And that's how I would sign all my paintings and all the art that I did as a kid. And then when I got older, I was gonna go buy Afar.com, Afar.com. And then I noticed that there's like a travel magazine that's called Afar. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
And then there's like a clothing company called Afar. So I was like, oh no. And then I added a 2/5. So the 2/5 is my birthday. So February 5th.
Okay.
So it's Afar 25. It's how it goes. But a lot of people just call me Afar. Because that's, in Instagram live era, like I forget that your name is Dick, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And
remember
you see,
that.
so everybody, instead of like saying like, oh, I know Andres, they're like, oh, Afar, And then I have to tell people, it's like, oh, my name is Andres. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's very true because that happens to both of us too.
Yeah. For example, I mean, to me, you're Listo, and to me, you're Zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when when you're like calling him, it's like Peralta. I'm like,
who's he talking
wait.
to?
And then I'm like, it's Zombie. Like, how is this Peralta?
No.
But I see, you know what I mean? Like, that's what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been using that one for a long ass time. I've had a website for like 13, 14 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. Because as a designer, I have a portfolio. Although now my website is just a shop. So that's where you can find my shirts, my hats, my stickers.
You used to have stuff for sale?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go check it out, everybody.
Yeah, and I actively work on stuff. So like I'm gonna be launching a shirt soon. It's actually a monkey doing a kickflip.
Dope.
Yeah, it's a purple shirt too. I've been doing also these color shirts just because I used to always just do black or white. And then probably the last batch, it was like a year and a half ago, I did like a whole bunch of batches. So I did the green one, I did like a light blue, a dark blue, a gray, a bright yellow, and then now I'm doing this purple one.
If you do a brown, let me know. I need something to match these shoes.
There you go. Gotta do a brown one next then.
Yeah, man.
But yeah.
Monkey, that'll be dope.
Hell yeah.
Dope. Can't wait to see that one. And yeah, man, I thank you for coming down.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Listo, shout outs?
Yeah, I got a shout out. Shout out number 1, God for giving me strength to keep going. Shout out number 2, my family, my parents for supporting me and, giving me a roof to stay when I was younger. Number 3, Where the Locals Skate, the podcast. Number 4, the homies, everybody out there skating, doing positive things and keeping it going. Number 5, Afar. Like first time meeting you was at the premiere. I seen you in person. I seen your episode, like some parts. I didn't really finish the whole thing, but I seen you in person for the first time. And for me, it's like, when I meet somebody in person, it's not the same as meeting someone on the internet. I when I met you, I was kind of confused. I was like, who is this guy? I know him, but I don't really know him.
Yeah.
So that was the first time, and after that, coming out on the skate session with you today, it was cool. Like being out there in the field for the first time. I was kind of shy, I'm kind of shy at the beginning, but after that, just being ourselves, skateboarding, doing what we love. You're taking some photos and can't wait to see what you're working on, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
Shout out for coming out here, spending time with us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Peralta?
You got 6 shout outs?
You got 6?
6 shout outs.
Took all my shout outs too. I want to shout out the podcast, everyone that supports the skating, the community. It's awesome the support we're getting from them and how much they love what we're doing. I want to shout out to you. It was cool to experience that today. Go skate with the guests and especially on the streets. And I was like, cool, this is actually fun. It'd be cool if we could do it every day or every weekend when we do it. And then definitely it was badass to get a clip of you today. I'm definitely going to save that and throw it in our friends part of the video.
He got 3 clips.
That's even better. We're going to throw them all in there.
Yeah.
So,
clipped up.
Hell yeah.
Clipped up today, man.
And then I want to shout out, our squad that we started off to lunch because everyone who's a working man that's a skater, what do they do on their lunchtime? They sneak off to go get a skate sesh off to lunch. So
is that the idea behind it?
Yeah, it's the whole thing that any skater that I know that has a working job, the first thing I notice they always do is they sneak off on their lunchtime to go get a skate session in. They don't even go eat lunch. They'll sneak up their lunch during work and then I'm gonna go off to lunch to skate.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to do that a lot when I first started at the toy company.
Yeah,
and they were based out of Gardena, so I would skate the South Gardena Park all the time. And I ran into Daewon Song there like a handful of times because that's where what's That's where Almost used to be.
Okay.
Yeah, so he would go there and skate. And seeing him skate was like the funnest thing ever because he would skate with all his homies that he skated with when he first started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you see like, you know, this cholo ass looking dude, you know, in his 40s with a huge ass belly. And Day One is hyping him up right behind him. It's like, you got this, you got this.
That's badass.
Yeah, it was so sick seeing him like skate with all his friends because it just kind of reminded me of like, man, this is what I want to do when I'm like in my late 40s. Like, I want to go get a clip with all my friends. You know what I mean? Like, all of us still try to do it.
I did it today.
Yeah.
45. I got a clip today. Little one, but I got it.
Go.
Hey,
There you go.
so it was.
We'll see what happens. See, my knees are hurting.
Yeah, and that's one thing I want to capture with this video. You know, just a bunch of friends doing it how we used to do when we first started. We're not going out. We're not setting standards. I'm gonna do a bang or anything. It's just we're gonna show up to a spot, have fun, and I'm all I'm doing is documenting the fun we're having.
Hell yeah.
Going out there having a good time.
That's it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, those are my shout outs, you know. Appreciate everyone supporting us. That's all I can say. I appreciate everyone supporting everything we do and showing us love.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, one more thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like now, like you came and shared your story, you know, I feel like more comfortable, like, you know, because at first I was just like, oh, I didn't really know you, you know, but now this podcast, you opened up a little bit more. I got to know your side of your story, you know, and like, it's cool, man, getting to know people like more, you know, because we could relate and could bond even more, you know, work together, future projects.
For
So
sure.
that's awesome, man. Shout out.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of puts you on the spot, right? You guys get to listen to a lot of people's lives.
Oh yeah.
So it's cool for you guys to like listen to all these stories too.
Oh, for sure, man. And then so a lot of it relates to us. Like he said, you said something earlier that really stuck with him, and a lot of times that happens with the guests, man. They'll say something that really impacts either one of us or maybe somebody out there listening.
Yep.
So that's why we do it, you know. And dude, again, thank you for coming down. I appreciate it. Can't wait to see the project coming out, you know. And thank you for everybody for joining us today. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, all notification bell. If you or you know somebody that wants to be on the show, hit us up at Where the Locals Sk8 on Instagram, or you can find me at OG_skate show. Again, thank my crew and everybody.
Couch boys, let's get it.
Sir. Peace out, everybody.